And for me personally, I got more results in that first 2 weeks of wearing that than I have in the whole last year. Cleared up my sciatica in about 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not kidding. I was bending over. I could bend over and touch my toes. I was starting to feel really good again.
Hey, Patrick, thanks for coming and hanging out with me today.
Hello, and how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Oh, cool.
I guess to start with, I'll give a brief history of my health. I've been an athlete all of my life, and I've managed to stay in pretty good physical shape. And I'm just about to turn 72. And for those of you that have arrived there, it's things start deteriorating quite rapidly. So I really feel blessed to have this device because it's definitely slowing that down.
Perfect. What kind of an athlete were you, Patrick?
I was a ski racer when I was a young man, and I'm still a ski racer as an old man. I'm ski racing on flat ground these days. So
Oh,
I live in
nice.
Idaho, and the resort I was born and raised at is Sun Valley. And I was an alpine racer up until I was about 25, and then just recreational skied for many years. And when I turned 50, I got into the cross country Nordic racing, and it was the best thing I could have done for my health. It's just
Good.
I have the type of mentality. I love to move. I love to exercise. I love to get oxygenated. It just brings me up. So
Me too.
I'm one of those. So
Good for you.
in all of that time, I mean, I took some horrible crashes as a ski racer at 80 miles an hour, and
Yikes.
and I feel that these days. One of my biggest issues, number one was I've had gout since my 20s, and which was really weird. I had a problem with alcohol, and I was drinking way too much beer, and I started getting gout attacks. And my physician told me that. He asked me if I drank, and I told him, yeah. And he said, well, that's one of the things you're going to have to either back off on or stop. So I did. And it was, that was 30 years ago. So.
And you're still getting gout attacks, even though you stopped?
And now I've started getting them again. And what it is, I've discovered gout is regular gout is too much uric acid in your system.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have that. I've had my uric acid tested many times, and it's normal. And what they finally came up with is there's something they call pseudo gout. And that's excess calcium that builds up in your system and winds up in your joints. Similar to it is a form of arthritis. So that is, in the last 10 years, that has been one big issue. It finally turned into sciatica in my lower back. I had a real serious sciatic attack about 3 years ago. Just laid me on my back for about 3 or 4 weeks, and I couldn't do anything. And that was before I got the device, and I'll kind of work into that. But that's been one of my biggest issues, that the gout and the progressing into the sciatica. The other thing is, as you could see, I'm real fair complected. I've dealt with skin cancer for all my life. I've had things removed and cut off, burned off, all of that fun stuff. And I still do. I have to be really careful with the sun. And being on the snow all of my life hasn't helped, so.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
stay away from chemical sunscreens.
Yeah, I've discovered that. I mean, and when I was a young man, and I spent a lot of time on the snow, the only sunscreen we had was the zinc oxide.
Well, that's
And
the good stuff.
total whites, and I couldn't wear that because I was embarrassed to, I guess.
Oh.
Well, I was sunburned a lot. But let's see, and then I discovered how I got into the QHS is I was watching YouTube, and Cynthia came on with Mel Carbine in an interview, and I had heard about the med beds about 4 or 5 years ago. So I was kind of in tune with it. I also know about Jasara and Nesara, the whole financial thing. I've been following this whole thing that's going on right now for about 5 years. So when I heard Cynthia come on and I heard about this program and what she was putting together, immediately caught my attention. Because it's, and I just fell in love with her and the whole program, because it's, everybody's just saying the hell with the RV, let's just go, let's start this thing and start getting people healthy. So I signed up. I've had a device since last April.
Oh, wow. A year.
Yeah. And I started with the belt. At that time, it was just kind of a gel deal that you put the tied around your waist, basically. And for me personally, I got more results in that first 2 weeks of wearing that than I have in the whole last year.
Really?
Yeah, it totally cleared up my sciatica in about 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not kidding. I was bending over. I could bend over and touch my toes. I was starting to feel really good again. And naturally I went out and overdid it. I put a backpack on and headed up into the mountains for a couple of days and just irritated it again and kind of went backwards for a ways. And so that was something I don't recommend doing. You start feeling really good, don't just jump off. Don't think you're 30 just yet.
Soon, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. But and since then, with each one of the devices, I have noticed improvement. One of my biggest ones is I have not been sick, like as far as colds, flu, any of that kind of stuff, for 7 months now. I did get COVID last fall. I made a trip to India to an enlightenment program in India and spent a month there. And traveling there, being around a bunch of people from all over the world, I did catch COVID. I'm not vaccinated, won't be vaccinated. And but with the COVID, I was wearing the device, and I had it for 3 days. And I took some ivermectin while I was there. You can buy it in India over the counter. But anyway, it lasted for 3 days and it was gone.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah, and since then, like I said, I have not been sick. So I know this is working. It's I feel more energetic. I feel more calm. I feel more open. I mean, like for me sharing on I call this TV, this is something new for me. But COVID has kind of brought that out. You get used to talking to your box, right?
Oh yeah. I much prefer face to face, and I can't wait to see everybody in Salt Lake City to give them all hugs for real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I'm not that far from Salt Lake. I'm only 5 hours away. So you're in
nice. And you're in the first wave. You must be if you were since April.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna definitely step back and let the people that are really need this go ahead of me, because I'm doing okay. Let's see, what else can I share about just pain in general, just little things that pop up at 70. I mean, every morning when you wake up, something new hurts. It seems like, and what's been helping me is going on the weekly calls and getting in the breakout rooms and listen to what other people are going through. Like a gal a couple weeks ago mentioned something about she was having pain in her heels. And I get that every now and again. So I put my device in a sock and wore it all night and woke up the next morning with no pain at all.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. And another, little thing is I did start to get some congestion in my lungs and was coughing a little bit one evening. And I laid down on my back, put the device right on my throat for about, I don't know, a half hour, and it was gone. So my body's really getting in tune with that wave. And for some reason it does, what my experience has been is it likes being close to wherever the injury is. Like if I have lower back pain, I wear it right on my right over that area. And I usually sleep with it there all night. And it's I still have pain, but it's not progressing, and I have not had to go to ER to get a shot of painkiller so I could stand the pain. So I know
So it's gone down a little.
Yeah, it's definitely calmed down. I still have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I've noticed springtime, since I go from skiing all winter and then going out and doing yard work with shovels and rakes and lifting and pulling, and it'll irritate it all right if you do it long enough.
So do you do any flexibility or mobility work?
Yeah, I do some. And, my physical therapist is, she's warned me about with sciatica, you can't do, I love doing yoga, but there's a lot of yoga that isn't beneficial for sciatica because all you do is irritate that area. So I keep it down to a dull roar, and I have a series of exercises that she's given me
Cool.
that I can do, and I'm pretty good about them. I'm not all the time.
Yeah, motion is lotion.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard. Use
yeah,
your words, Tracy.
yeah. And I don't know, being an athlete, I'd rather go out and jog 10 miles than sit down and do stretching. I'm just that way. I like to move, but
Yeah, so move. That's the best thing for you. But then when
yeah,
you're done moving, come back and spend 10 minutes stretching.
and stretch. Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
like,
with my sciatica, I can, if I do start to get tight, if I go down on the floor, lay on my back and do some happy baby or do some inner core exercises, it'll calm it right down.
cool.
So
Go out and run 10 miles. Dang, that's amazing.
yeah, well, I can ski 10 miles pretty easily these days, but running it's down to more like a mile, and it's not much of a run, it's more of a shuffle.
That's awesome. So Patrick, now moving forward, you get to go on this amazing 5-hour drive and take all the wisdom and knowledge and life lessons and apply it to a 30-year-old body with your do-over. What excites you about that?
Well, one thing is I'm really excited to have the energy to get out there and help people. That's my whole thing moving forward from this place now, is I want to get involved with helping other people get healthy, for one, and helping the planet. I've got all kinds of plans for once we get free energy again, like hopefully in the next 3 or 4 years. I want to help with cleaning up the planet, and I want to have the energy to be able to do that. At this age right now, I mean, your vitality starts to go down. It's you just don't feel like tackling projects like I did 10 years ago. It's mainly because I just don't have the energy. But that's coming back, and I know coming forward here, we're all gonna be full of energy. So, yeah, I'm just really excited about being involved with all of this and being able to get out there and help. That's my thing.
Yeah, we're the trailblazers. Get
Yeah,
to go heal the world.
yeah,
So exciting.
exactly.
Anything else? What are you going to do personally?
Probably continue my exercise programs. Like I said, I love to exercise. Um, I'm in a spiritual group that travels to India quite often, and it's fairly pricey. Not a lot of people can afford to do this, but I really want to help people get there. I've been attending this deal it's called the World Enlightenment Center, and they've got a kind of a fast track program for bringing people into enlightenment. And I'm very involved with that, and I want to help push that forward with finances, and also I'm going to become a teacher. So
That sounds fun.
yeah, and their whole goal is they figure if we can get 80,000 people living in enlightened states or ascended states, we can shift the direction of humanity. And we're getting real close to that. I've got a group that we're going in October of this year, and we're getting real close to that 80,000 mark. We've got people that go there from all over the world, and several from the United States and several from many other countries. So it's another thing I'm really excited about being involved with.
Yeah, it sounds really, really cool.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, is there anything else you'd like to close with, my darling? Super exciting to follow you. I can't wait. I want to check out this India thing.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a link here when we get done with this, and you can check it out.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. There is an event coming up June 10th in LA. The two enlightened masters. It's a couple. That's the married couple that's coming to LA, and they're going to go through a 4-hour program that they will take you into enlightened states. And if anybody's interested, I can send that link out, and there's still time to get a seat.
Yeah, send me the link and I'll check it out.
Okay, yeah.
That sounds like something people might enjoy,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been a huge spiritual boost for me. I know that. And most of the other people that I've been involved with in there is also, I mean, we're on the path.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Gosh, it's just hard to realize that this is all happening. It's almost like a pinch me moment that we get to be a part of it,
Yeah. The synchronicities that have happened to me in the last 4 or 5 years has all brought us to this point. It's just incredible when I look back on it. The one little thing has happened, and then caused that to happen, and then that causes that to happen, and you're going, wow.
Isn't that just fun?
Yeah, fascinating.
I agree. I love it. And we get to be on this side of it to help people cross over to the other side. So good for you to be a teacher. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
cool. I've been teaching people how to ski all my life. I haven't tried meditation, but we're working on it.
That's great. I bet you it's easier than learning how to do the skiing.
Yeah.
So you'll be a pro, no problem. Well, Patrick, I want to thank you for spending time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again for part 2 post QArc. Sound cool?
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Love
all right,
all.
my doll. Have a beautiful day and love you back.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye for now, Patrick. Thank you.
See ya.